Eric Hoffer, The True Believer, Thoughts on the Nature of Mass Movements. Dive into the fascinating world of mass movements in Eric Hoffer's The True Believer, Thoughts on the Nature of Mass Movements. This book explores the root causes behind the birth of such movements, along with the psychological and social factors that drive people to partake in them. From the origins of hope and unity to the role of common enemies, The True Believer delves into the core components of mass movements. Learn how they function by eliminating individuality and how fanatical leaders utilize doctrines to mobilize people into action. Get a clear understanding of the varied outcomes and dynamics of mass movements and their impact on societies at large.
The power of hope and loss in sparking change. Despair breeds discontent, but hope and knowledge of what can be achieved fuels the engine that drives change. This is the central idea presented in The Psychology of Mass Movements. The book examines the role of hope and loss in catalyzing significant political, social, and economic shifts throughout history. For instance, the author argues that the Nazi movement grew out of the despair and hopelessness that gripped Germany after World War I. Similarly, the French Revolution was sparked by a shift in the prevailing worldview that inspired hope and instilled a new sense of power in people. Furthermore, mass movements are often fueled by people who have lost something and are thus driven to regain it. The Puritan Revolution that catalyzed the English Civil War was started by people who had recently been driven from their property by landlords, thus fueling their determination to fight back. Ultimately, the book highlights the idea that people who are discontent or lack hope are more open to messages that promise change. This is true for the unemployed, who are more likely to follow someone who gives them hope than someone who offers them money. The book argues that hope alone isn't enough to inspire change. People also need to know what can be achieved to be motivated enough to create lasting change. The power of group identity. Individuals gain strength and support as part of a collective group. Group dynamics strip away individuality and form a united whole through the embodiment of a cause larger than oneself. Hitler and other leaders have utilized this phenomenon to create fanaticism and loyalty in mass movements, leading to dangerous consequences. Understanding the power of group identity is essential in comprehending society's actions and justifications. The power of a common enemy. Mass movements unite people against a common enemy, with powerful enemies leading to greater unity. The Nazis rallied against the Jews, who they considered wealthy and influential, and picked foreigners or distant groups as ideal enemies. Such movements need fanatical leaders to channel the masses' hatred. Lenin, Hitler, and Mussolini were essential in creating the Bolshevik, Nazism, and fascism movements. Spurring mass movements. To start a mass movement, one needs to put its goals and doctrines into language. The best people for this task are usually philosophers and scholars with sound knowledge. Successful doctrines are written by men who can channel the frustration of the masses. Once a doctrine has been established, a fanatical leader comes into play to put ideas into action. A leader starts as a man of words and later transforms into a fanatic. The article cites historical examples, such as the French Revolution, Christianity, and Islam. It also mentions how Hitler employed Fichte's ideas to build an empire and how Stalin used Marx's ideas. The article implies that language, knowledge, and leadership are critical factors in spurring mass movements. The nature of mass movements. Mass movements are diverse despite their nature. Even though they may appear homogeneous, their goals can differ vastly. The inherent impulse towards doctrine-based fanaticism can result in a multitude of outcomes. Mass movements can also act as substitutes for each other despite the similar composition of their parts. However, shorter mass movements tend to have better overall outcomes as people are preoccupied with the movement, leaving little room for other accomplishments. History reveals the contrasting fates of two sets of mass movements. Despite having clear goals, the lasting consequences of Nazism and communism were limited by their shared reliance on maintaining their mass movement status and by the resulting impact on creativity. Contrastingly, the French and American revolutions had clear goals but were comparatively shorter. They brought about significant changes, resulting in the establishment of modern democracies.
In The True Believer, Eric Hoffer presents a comprehensive analysis of mass movements, highlighting their key aspects, such as the role of hope, unity, common enemies, doctrine formation, and the impact of fanatical leaders. The book offers valuable insights into why certain movements perpetuate, while others end swiftly. Understanding these elements helps in grasping the transformative power such movements wield in shaping societies and influencing historical events. In conclusion, The True Believer offers a thought-provoking exploration of mass movements, revealing the critical factors and forces that drive them and affect their outcomes. It serves as a must-read for anyone interested in unraveling the complexities behind collective human behavior and its potential for both good and evil.